So now we're ready to go sailing. There's a few things we need to go over just to make sure that everybody knows what we can and can't do while we're out there on the water. First of all, where we can sail. Pretty much it's all open to us in a very broad sense, but there's areas where we want to avoid. We don't want to get too close to the boats and the docks at Harbor View. The wind gets shifty in there, and what has happened sometimes is boats get a little out of control and they end up causing some damage, and we don't want that to happen. So avoid sailing close to the boats in Harbor View. Avoid, if at all possible, going too far up into the harbor. Again, the wind gets very shifty up in there, it's undependable, and we don't want you under sail and stuck in there. When you go out, especially if the wind is light, make sure that you plan to get back to the dock before dark. You have a paddle, but if you sail out and the wind dies, it's a long paddle back, and you don't want to be doing that at night. So plan ahead. If you take an access dinghy out, basically we want you just within sight of the DSC. So we don't want you up into the harbor, and we don't want you out past Domino Sugar. So access dinghy sailors stay in the general DSC waters. When you're out there, you're bound to see other boats. If you see a water taxi, they're a commercial vehicle where they have a path to go to. While as a sailboat, we technically have right-of-way over them, they're doing a job and we're not. So our DSC policy is to just avoid crossing situations with other boats. We don't have a path to go. We can quickly, early change tacks, go the other direction when we are coming into a crossing situation with a water taxi. We want to make sure they understand that we're not playing chicken with them. Container ships and other big ships, obviously, we're going to stay away from them. The tugboats pushing barges into general ship, we want to stay away from them, allow them plenty of room to maneuver. The trash skimmers, we'll see them out a lot. They are very maneuverable, but again, those guys have a job to do. Let's just stay out of their way. It's a little breezy today. We need to make sure we understand how to depower. There's tools on the boat that we can use to depower the sail so that we don't get into too much trouble. First, we can tighten the outhaul. That should flatten the bottom of the sail. Using the boom bang, if we ease it when we're off the wind actually a little bit, it will put a belly in the sail and let some of the wind spill. We can tighten the backstay. That'll bend the mast and flatten the center part. We also can use the Cunningham attached to the lower corner of the sail, just above the tack, and pull that tight to help tighten the sail. A flat sail is a depowered sail. We also need to understand how to heave to if we get in trouble. And that's going to be letting the main go and having the jib backed. The boat will sit relatively motionless while we can get things taken care of and sorted out. If you find that you're out in the weather that's too strong for you, it's prudent to dock someplace and give us a call on the emergency cell number to let us know what you've done. We've had that situation, and I think it's far better for the skipper to dock the boat, understanding that they're in situations that they can't handle, than to try and risk it and come in and cause damage to either themselves or the boat. Man overboard. Make sure that that your crew understands how to get you. Understand first the steps of the man overboard and be able to get them to the crew so that the crew can get you if you're the one falling overboard. And also, we talked about high winds. We checked the prediction and we know that the winds, although they're strong, are not going to be over 20. If the winds were over 20 today, there'd be no sailing for the DSC boats. Now we've gone out and we've had our good sail, it's time to come in and de-rig.